Yo, how you doing today? You've heard the term Texas rig. What the heck does that mean? I'm gonna show you. Roll that intro. So a Texas rig is a very common style of bass fishing. You can certainly use it in other areas of fishing as well. But what the style is mostly used for is fishing worms or other long, lengthy appendage creatures off of the bottom of the water. Now you can rig this up a couple of different ways. I'm going to show you the different methods that I use, and hopefully it's useful to you. To you is what I meant. To you. I can talk. Now I'm going to show you the first way without pinning your weight. Now some guys like to do it without pinning the weight, and I'll explain what that means here in a bit. Others like to pin the weight. Now for the sake of conversation, I'm using a high-vis crappie line today. Obviously you'd be using like a fluorocarbon leader or even a monofilament in a higher gauge or a higher test line. This, just for demonstration purposes, because it's visible, I'm going to use the green chartreuse crazy crappie line, link in description. Now, when you're fishing Texas rig style, you have a bullet weight. Now, what I mean by bullet weight is this little gizmo right here. We have these available in tungsten and lead. Tungsten is much heavier, it's dense. There are theories also, and it's true if you're ever under a swimming pool like I have studying these things, if you listen to a lead underwater and it hits off the bottom of say, the bottom or a rock or something, it kind of thuds. It's like a... If you listen to tungsten off the bottom, it's more of a ping or a and that excites the bass, that excites the fish a lot more. That more kind of pingy bam, 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 instead of the you get the picture. Nevertheless, here's how you rig it up without pinning the weight. So you take your bullet weight, you have a small side, you have a fat side. Go through the small side first, into your line. Boom, boom, boom. I'm not gonna go through how to tie the knot or the knot that I use in this video, but I will put a link in the description for a knot video that I did, a how-to prior in the year, and you can check that out down below. You can use a various type of hooks also for a Texas style rig, but in most cases, I like to use an offset shank EWG hook, extra wide gap. That means the gap from here to here is wider, and it has this offset shank hook to accommodate for a weedless setup on a worm. I'm going to show you. When you're rigging up your finesse worms or your trick worms, in this case, made by Cast Cray, baby. You got a bottom, a flat side, and a top round side. Poke the tip of the worm down, just like we showed you in the trick worm video, link in description, and slide that worm all the way over the knot and the eye to where it pops out that offset section. Put your finger on the bottom here, marking the bottom of the hook, poke it through and through the top, and you're gonna just skin hook it right on top like so. Kabamski.
Kabamski.
I present to you an unpinned Texas rigged trick worm. By unpinned, I mean that the weight can slide back and forth. It can work its way into rocks if you want and pop it out. It kind of has more of a wackier presentation and an unpredictable presentation. It's much more of a loud presentation too. So it's not a tight little package. When this weight and you're up there on top of the boat, when you're popping it, it's flipping up and it's going like this and it's flipping back. You get the idea. You get the idea. When we're talking a pinned Texas style weight or a pinned bullet weight on your Texas style rig, use a bobber stop. We have these available on the website. These are small, the small size. What you want to do is thread this stop. You can use knots as well. I like the rubber stops better because they slide through your eyelets easier, my opinion.
My opinion.
But these bobber stops have a little loop on the top. Do you see that? What you're going to want to do is put your line through one of the loops of the stops, like so. Like that. Now what you want to do is take that rubber bead, that rubber stop, and slide it onto your line, pulling it off of the stop and off of the wire that came with the stops. Now guess what? You got a pinning method. Now follow the same instructions that we just did on the unpin method and put your bullet weight on, small side first, all the way on, kabam, and then tie your EWG or your favorite hook on. Gosh, son of a... You have your hook tied on. You have your favorite trick worm by Cast Cray on the EWG extra wide gap hook. You slide your stop. You could either pin it up above where it has a little bit of motion and stops, or you can take it like I'll usually do and just go all the way down to the nose. Now obviously you want your stops to be bigger than the hole that's in your bullet weight. Otherwise the bullet weight's just gonna slide right past the stop and it's not gonna pin it at all. Now in this case you have a tight little package. This guy is completely weighted. It goes in and out. You have more control over whether or not it gets hung up in rocks or not because you don't have two kind of appendages to deal with. You have one little tight little package. Now this is a great little method for flipping under docks. I love to flip it under docks, kind of just scoop it under and skip it off and let it drop. And it drops to the bottom and give it a little pop off the bottom and this sucker will wave up and kind of float down. The bass can't resist it. Texas rig, baby. Now you know. I hope that was helpful. If you have any additional questions or comments, please type them below. Make sure to smash that thumbs up. It helps us out. Share it out to someone who wants to learn. And we love you. Have a wonderful day. Woo!